So I am a 30-year-old man, I know, ancient, and I am struggling to find work. However, I'm not going to be like these other 30-something-year-olds, or roughly around, complaining to the internet about how the economy and the job market sucks. I have a degree and can't get employed, yada yada yada. I don't have a degree, I never went to school. But I do have lofty ambitions and a pipe dream. So instead of being a Debbie Downer, I'm still going to pursue those lofty pipe dreams of mine. I'd rather be a man of action. So what is my plan of action? I will be challenging myself to make a 3D model that is fully animation and asset ready. So, modeled, sculpt, retopologized, textured, rigged, etc. The point of this isn't just to hone my workflow and my skill and my art style, but also to hold myself accountable. Whether this goes anywhere or not, I don't care, but if I require myself to upload a video regarding it for some reason, that motivates me enough to a form of accountability. Where that goes, we'll see. For now, a lofty pipe dream that I'm pursuing. But maybe my fumblings in that pursuit will help encourage others to do the same. To try and try again. It's not about the falling that matters. It's the getting back up. Which is worse, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? And I am quoting a man who has plagued my algorithm lately. I will now plague you with him.
I know you're tired, but do you want the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? The pain of progress or the pain of regret? But no one's watching, gotta earn my respect. All along, it's just me versus myself.
You're welcome. Anywho, as any Blender journey starts, we start with the cube, everyone's favorite. And I tried using this cube with a subdivided modifier. After fiddling around with it, trying to get the exact shape I was trying to go for, I gave up, deleted it, used a plane instead. I had a vision in my mind already as far as the shape I wanted to go for. So I just started modeling it, getting the general shape of the faceplate down with a nice little curve. Most would recommend that you use a reference, whether it's your own sketch or something else. I did not. And that definitely nipped me in the butt later on, but I just couldn't be bothered to do up a sketch. You'll see what I mean later, because there are two variations of this. But anywho, I unfortunately tend to wing it, and I'm gonna be real, it would probably do me well to make a rough sketch of what I want to make in the future. So I start to build out the faceplate. It's rounded right now, and something to keep in mind is half of this is going to be flesh. I am fully aware my art style is probably not the most appeasing, but I find making grotesque things oddly satisfying. So after closing up the back end, I tried to ignore the horrid shape for now, and I tried for some decorative thing, whatever that is. I ended up getting rid of it and throwing a thruster in place of it. In the world I'm creating, everything is somewhat sentient in a way, more of like a hive mind, so to speak. It's like a mix of biopunk and retropunk. Think of a mixture of Fallout and Warhammer. That was all an accident. I had an idea in my head, and then I'm like, is there anything that's like this? And well, what do you know? Anywho, keeping this in mind, I noticed the shape ended up being somewhat head-like. You see it? See the head shape? So I figured this could be someone's severed head that got turned into a lantern by the big bad person in the world I'm building. Fun, right? In this world, they have found a source of limitless energy. So most things have a perpetual source of power, and I thought it would be fun to have a little floating, flying lanterns people can like just grab and it would stay floating there. Hence the thrusters. Anyway, I then make this handle and a really ugly headlight. It did not stay. I didn't dwell on this horrid headlight for very long, so I moved on to what I think is the fun part, making it gross. My thought behind this is to, as most biopunk stuff does, the flesh will encroach the hard-surfaced material. How I decided to do this is just kind of do this like veiny, rooted kind of look to it. I think it came out okay. I was using the clay strips brush throughout the process and doing circular motions to give it that sort of rough, gritty texture, kind of make it look a little more organic. Then once the overall shape of the vein was built out, as I'm working on it, I'm changing the size of the brush and, veins. Then I would take the draw tool and do like the little tips of the veins. And well, we have this abomination. I'd then go over it with a smooth brush to soften it and kind of make it blend more with the base of the flesh. The trick I found with this is to do kind of like a branch work, like you would for a tree, but less rigid, more curvy and flowy. And I think it came out pretty decent. I tried making these side panels, which I figured would be like a paper lantern kind of situation, like skin. Didn't hate how it came out, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. For some reason, I thought, oh, maybe I should make it all organic and make the hard surface chitin. Bad idea. Didn't like it one bit. It was fine, it was gross looking, which I do like, but not really the look I wanted to go for. It took away from that 50s automotive design language too much, and I ended up hating that and going back to before I even started the sculpting. Not ground zero, but pretty damn close. This is why you make duplicates of everything you're working on as you proceed through the process. That way you have something to fall back to or make multiple saves. So otherwise, you're going to end up doing way too much work over again. Upon my return to a regressed lantern, I decided to redesign the rear thrusters. Now it's a dual tip exhaust because, that adds 10 horsepower to everything you put it onto. The dual tips are cool. Big old chonky thruster, not cool. So now it has 2 thrusters in the back that are smaller, and I think that looks better. I then made the headlight bigger and more headlighty because the little goofy one before would for sure not emit much light. It is a lantern after all, not a nightlight. Since I was here fiddling around with the hard surface portion of it and the basic model, I decided to try to clean up the curves a bit, make it flow a little better, and this eventually brought me to bringing out the side panels to flare out a bit, which, not toot my own horn, but I think that looks a lot better. Flaring it out makes it look a little more sleek, kind of feeds into that 50s automotive design I was talking about, and it just makes the overall mesh interesting. Finally, before getting back to the fun part of making it gross, I decided to separate the mesh into different chunks, making the hard surface pieces separate from the fleshy bits. So the thrusters, the side light panels, the faceplate, and the handle. So now back to the fun, gross part, the little fleshy veiny mounds, whatever you want to call them. I'm not sure if I made them a little too abundant this go around, or if it looks fine. I'm happy with it, but I haven't decided quite if the bigger, more scarce mounds looks better, or more abundant mounds looks better. I don't know, maybe it just depends on what I'm making. Maybe it makes more sense because this is a lantern and it's smaller, but if it was a bigger object, it would be bigger and more spread out. I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments. But by the end, I had this big blank space in the back. What do we do with it? Put a tramp stamp rune right into the back. Why? Well, there will be reasons lore-wise unfolded later. For now, all you need to know is it has to do with the story, and there's Slavic folklore / mythology influence involved, of which, by the way, if you have any resources on that are pre-Christianity, please send them my way. It has been maddening finding anything that's not vague or plagued by the neo-pagan stuff today. It is impossible to find anything historically accurate because there's just nothing out there. And here is the final product. I'm not going to show the retopology or the texturing of it because that's boring. I also use an add-on for retopology and then just clean it up afterwards. If you really want to see that, you can let me know down in the comments below. But there it be, my beautiful abomination. The severed head, disguised as a lantern, I guess, is what we ended up with. Albeit it is very simple texturing, but I do like the simplicity of the kind of like gritty, painterly kind of texture that I ended up with here. Not sure if I want like a deep red or like a black for the paint. Figure it out later. That's easy enough to switch up. It's got cute little pink thruster flames on it as well. I like it, but let me know what you guys think down below. Critiques, suggestions, all that jazz. You can join up in my Discord. It's going to be mixed into my gaming channel Discord, so there will be a whole hodgepodge of things that I'm doing there. I will have one specific for the artwork, and I will post whatever prompt may be for that week, as well as a text post here on the YouTube channel. Anywho, I will catch you guys next time with another abomination. I appreciate you watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever it may be. Hopefully this video was of some sort of benefit to you.